This is by far the worst homicide investigation that our office has ever been a part of.
In the quiet winter of February 2025, a chilling crime emerged from upstate New York, one that stunned even the most seasoned investigators.
No human being should have to endure what Sam endured.
A young man named Sam Nordquist, just 24 years old, vanished without a trace after traveling hundreds of miles to meet someone he thought he could trust. What happened next was something no one could have predicted, a story of deception, cruelty, and a heartbreaking failure of protection. This is the true and tragic story of Sam Nordquist, a man whose compassion and trust were ultimately used against him and whose story deserves to be told. Sam Nordquist was a kind soul. Born and raised in Red Wing, Minnesota, he was known for his warm heart, sense of humor, and deep empathy for others. Friends and family described him as gentle, giving, and someone who lit up any room he walked into. He worked at a group home supporting disabled adults, a job that reflected his natural instinct to care and protect. But like many young adults, Sam also struggled with identity and acceptance. He was a transgender man, and while he was deeply loved by his family, he often faced the harsh realities that come with being openly trans in a world that can still be deeply intolerant. In September of 2024, Sam made a life-changing decision. After months of chatting online, he left Minnesota to visit a woman he had met through social media, Precious Arzuaga, who lived in Geneva, New York. The plan was simple: spend 2 weeks getting to know her, then return home. His loved ones were nervous but supportive. Sam wanted connection, and he believed he had found it. But weeks passed and Sam didn't come home. He called to say he was extending his visit, hoping to give the relationship a real shot. Then the calls and texts became sporadic, strange. By early December, the contact became increasingly disturbing. His messages sounded odd, like someone else was writing them. And then, in January 2025, the communication stopped completely. His family became frantic. They called police, filed missing person reports, and repeatedly requested wellness checks. But authorities said there wasn't enough evidence of foul play to intervene. Sam was an adult. He had traveled on his own. And without more information, their hands were tied. Behind the scenes, however, a nightmare was unfolding. Sam was being held against his will. He was trapped in a motel in Hopewell, New York, just a few miles from Geneva, subjected to what authorities would later describe as systematic and prolonged torture. Over the course of weeks, Sam was beaten, burned, choked, starved, and psychologically terrorized.
As you can see from the indictment, Sam was confined. He was forced to kneel and stand against a wall. He was physically assaulted. He was sexually assaulted. He was prevented from using his phone. He was denied proper nutrition and hydration. He was fed feces. He was forced to drink urine and chew spit. They physically restrained him. They forced him to obey their commands, treating him like a dog. They covered his face with towels and shirts and fabric. They used duct tape, and they poured bleach on him.
His captors weren't strangers. They were people Sam believed were his friends, including Precious, the woman he had traveled to meet. Alongside her were 6 other individuals ranging in age from 19 to 38. Police alleged that the group participated in or enabled the abuse, turning what started as a relationship into a deadly trap. The abuse was not impulsive or random, it was calculated. Sam was denied food and water, forced to ingest toxic substances, and reportedly beaten with objects like broom handles and belts.
We have determined that Sam endured prolonged physical and psychological abuse at the hands of multiple individuals.
He was kept hidden in that motel room, his cries for help unheard, while those responsible continued to post on social media as if nothing was wrong. For over a month, Sam endured unimaginable suffering. Then, on February 9, 2025, acting on a tip and mounting pressure from Sam's family, New York State Police conducted a search of the motel. What they found was horrifying. Blood evidence, signs of struggle, and indications of long-term confinement pointed to something far more serious than a missing person case. By then, Sam was gone. Just 4 days later, on February 13th, investigators discovered Sam's body in a remote field in Yates County, around 50 miles from the motel. The body had been moved, likely in an attempt to delay or prevent identification. But the damage had already been done. Sam Nordquist was dead, murdered by the very people he had trusted. The arrests came swiftly. All 7 suspects, including Precious Arzuaga, were charged with second-degree murder with depraved indifference. That charge reflects a level of cruelty and recklessness so extreme that prosecutors didn't need to prove intent, just that the suspects knew their actions could cause death and didn't care. In the weeks that followed, public reaction was intense. Across social media, the hashtag Justice for Sam began trending. Vigils were held in both Minnesota and New York, where candles were lit and stories were shared about Sam's kindness, his resilience, and his enduring legacy. In Red Wing, community members wore blue, Sam's favorite color, and planted trees in his memory. Trans advocacy groups also spoke out. Sam's murder highlighted the risks that transgender individuals still face in 2025. While acceptance has grown, violence against trans people remains alarmingly high. According to Human Rights Campaign data, at least 50 trans or gender nonconforming people were murdered in the United States in 2024 alone, many of them people of color or trans men like Sam. Sam's family has vowed to fight for accountability not just in the courtroom but also in how law enforcement handles missing person cases involving vulnerable individuals. They believe more could have been done and sooner. Today, 7 people sit behind bars awaiting trial. If convicted, they face life in prison without the possibility of parole. But no sentence will ever bring Sam back. His story is a painful reminder that cruelty can wear many faces, even the face of someone you trust. It's a warning about how isolation, manipulation, and unchecked hate can lead to the worst kind of tragedy. But Sam's life was not just about how he died. It was about how he lived. He loved deeply. He gave freely. He wanted to make the world a little better, one act of kindness at a time. And that is how we should remember him. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more real-life true crime stories. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and never take kindness for granted.